Okay, so now we're going to continue this because that last video was still too long. I'm going to go back to the cylinder head part and resume the next hole. Now that hole right here, you guys look at this, is a flat bottom hole. So we got to be careful with this one. So I'm going to go back to cylinder head, and there's my flat bottom hole. So it is concentric with this hole. We don't need another dimension on this. That's a weird thing that plus minus tolerancing does. So how do we know what the tolerance of this is to the axis of this hole? There is nothing in plus minus tolerancing that does that. So we're going to go to GD&T and we're going to see how to do that. So I'm going to put in hole and thread node on this one. And it did not put my flat bottom counterbore symbol in for me. It's a really important thing, or it would have had that 118 degree tip and it would have blown out the side. So I'm going to double click on this, go to the front. Now this is a value. You guys, these are all values. So these are symbols. All I have to do is put in this counterbore symbol or this flat bottom hole symbol. Alright, so that is coincident with, or concentric with this. We're good to go on that one. I'm going to go back over here. Now it looks like I have a shared sketch again. So I've got this hole, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to retrieve model annotations. Okay, here's the location, and here's another location. Okay, I'm going to drag this down a little bit more. Okay, then I need a hole and thread callout. That one gave me the depth. Now be careful. Sometimes you want to go and look at the part, make sure. If they say they're all going through all, make sure that they are. Alright, I'm going to go back to the part again. Allow these two. Here. And now I start to see the thread on here. Alright, so I'm going to put in, I need the dimensions. Retrieve model annotations. I've got that these are 0.5 apart and they start 0.25 out. And they're still in line with the first one. So I'm going to bring this out. How am I going to do that? I'll show you a trick. You want to see a trick? Alright, so I've got these two crossing and I can't bring the text over this. So if I right click on the dimension, I go to options and I put my arrowheads outside. Now I'm not crossing a dimension line anymore. Alright, I've got that one, and I've got my 0.25 here, and I want to kind of show these to show that this is halfway and this is double that, so they're equidistant. Now I'm going to put in my hole and thread node here, and I never ever select the hidden lines for the threads. I'm always going to go for the hole. I've got that. Now I don't have a depth on those holes. You notice that? So I also don't have the quantity. So I'm going to double click on this, go to the first, put my quantity node in. But now I might go down on the second line or something. But check this out. I'm going to put in the depth of this hole. So this is a parameter. Do you see the hole depth value? But I have to put in the depth symbol first, and then I put in the value. This is a parameter, so you have to put the symbol in. Make sense? Alright, we got that one. Going back to the part. Next holes. Back to the drawing. Retrieve the dimensions. And see how this tap minor diameter comes in? Don't ever want that. Now where's my center? These are vertically aligned with this one. And you can see that from the sketch. But I'm just going to tell you that. You can go back and look at the drawing. You can bring this in here. What you can do is, let me see if I can force it. I kind of like that to be inside there, but it doesn't want to do it. That's alright. Okay, so hole and thread notes. 632s. Also does not have depth. Double click on it. Going to go to home button, takes you to the front. put in your quantity symbol. I'm going to go to the second line, put in the depth symbol and the depth parameter. Now I want to show that these are all in alignment. These center marks may all be in alignment, but I'm going to put an axis from here down to here. And now if I went from here to here, I'd probably have everything that I... It's trying to put that in the same one. So once again, you have to right click and say create. And now the next one. This one to this one. Now we're all set on those. And this offset right here looks good. These offsets look good. The question was, why don't I just put a center mark in here? I could do that. I love to use the automated center marks tool. It makes sure that I don't miss anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather every view and do automated center marks all at one time. Alright, so we got those. And I only do it on this type of retrieving because I don't have an input sheet, and usually I put in all my automated center lines first. So I'm going to go back to the part. That's that bottom hole right there. Hole and thread note. Does not have the depth. Depth symbol, depth parameter. Okay. Alright, and then there's one more feature. It's a fillet. And now I don't have to save the part, but I'm going to save the drawing. So now these are in here. I'm going to retrieve this fillet, but I want you guys to look at something right quick. Do you see how this now is too tall? It's too far away. You have to drag this down. I know I'm not going to see a good gap at any fillet, so go around and make sure that nothing else, like that one looks good, this one does not. Make sure that you've moved all those. Now I'm going to retrieve this fillet over here. There it is. Apply. Double click on this one. Go to the home button. Where's my quantity symbol? Doesn't have it. So this is 3x space. Alright, now I'm at the end of my rope. I'm going to grab, holding down control, I'm going to grab all four of these views, right click, automated center lines. These are already set up to be centered patterns, rectangular patterns, axial center lines, bullseyes, cylinders, revolves, and holes. And we set that up in the template itself, in this format. So now everything has the center marks. And I'm going to save this, not saving the part. And I'm finished with my drawing, but look at this one. Came kind of... Alright. You guys see anything else?
On the far left.
Far left. Oh, thank you. Good eye. And that's way far out there. There is no maximum space, but there is a 0.4 minimum space for your first dimension away from the edge of the part. So this is really not too close. Just don't crowd the part. I've never had a checker come up and say this is not 0.4 inches away from the part.